Perfect.
Hello, and welcome back to another star-studded episode of the Chatterbox with King Jacob, and I am yours truly, King Jacob, and I will definitely be chopping it up. This is a different type of session tonight, and I'm just so happy to announce that I have a special guest all the way from Sacramento, California. Um, he does it all, so I'll go ahead and let him formally introduce himself to the audience.
How you doing, bro? My name is Brent T. I'm the writer and the creator of Impound Comics, the Impound Universe, and on your show, chopping it up with you today.
No doubt, man. So, for those who want to get familiar with you, because you are in a broad world of entertainment, that a lot of us grow up loving.
Yeah.
And for you to bring that back to the format. So, who is Brent T. Sands?
Comic book writer, creator. I did a lot of work in the music industry. I did a lot of work in the promoting industry for concerts and festivals and things like that. But for the most part, I'm just a full entrepreneur, social people's person, and just trying to do what I was destined to do. I've never been a person that could sit still or take orders from too many people for too long. I always had my own dreams and visions and ambitions. I didn't know it was comic book writing until it became that. But I always knew I needed to be doing something that was for myself, and then became for my family, and then just became for the culture.
Okay. So, when did this journey start of you being a comic book author, with you being a comic book script writer, when you being uh, a comic superhero visual storyteller?
Yeah.
So, how did it get started, and when did it start?
So Impound 1 came out November 2020, and that's pretty much when it started. Before that, I wrote movie script. I went to film school, so I was writing movie scripts, or I was writing kind of like novels. They were always surrounding some sort of superhero normally, or some sort of hero, but I had no desire to be a comic book writer. Um, my eyes were always set on like movies in the big screen, and I think not being able to figure out how to get to that goal, I transitioned my character into an actual comic book character, because I had read somewhere that movie script writing and comic book writing was very similar, because you would eventually have to storyboard your movie, and that's pretty much all a comic book was. So Impound 1 as a comic book was when the comic book authors begun.
Okay. So, there's been a lot of stories on you, blogs, magazines, all
Yeah.
the above. So, when the public eye learned who you were and what you did and how well you illustrated, your visual story.
Yeah.
So how fast did the magazines and the blogs come?
It was almost instant. It was almost an immediate thing. Due to that, I mean, part of the reason was I used to work in the news industry as well, so I knew some people, but it was also just the fact of all my years and experience of promoting. I knew what to say that could catch headlines. So when I launched Impound, the first thing I promoted them as was Sacramento's first superhero, and that was an instant thing for the city of Sacramento. Um, it was unique. We don't have comic book creators that as much in the West Coast as there probably are in the East Coast or down south in Atlanta. Um, but it was just a new thing to the city as an entirely. You know what I mean? As a whole, that was new, and it was an instant grab.
Mm. Okay, so how is it? How okay? We're gonna talk about education for a minute and how this impacts your journalism, your creative writing, and things of that nature. Let's talk about some of the things that you learned in film school, high school, college, that carried you over into being the guy that you are today. You know,
Yeah.
so what type of people in your life have you reconnected with, like college professors, school teachers, maybe some people that you grew up with, maybe on the city council, stuff like that? So, how did that impact?
I wouldn't say anything with professors or anything like that, but definitely along the lines of what you're saying is being an entrepreneur. A lot of people who I worked with a long time ago, maybe in a different industry or a different life, became something later on in life, and keeping my relationships good with them uh, helped me, and they were willing to help. You know what I mean? Help. They were willing to help me with my journey because of that
Mhm.
relationship. So some were in the news industry. A friend of mine, he works for Revolt TV, which is Diddy's network. He got a story cast put together about me during Black Business Month, and just being a promoter. All of my friends, a lot of my friends still do that. So I had the people who knew how to get the word out were willing to help me immediately. So a lot of what I was doing over the last decade came back full circle when I finally found what I really wanted to do.
Okay, okay, okay. And so I'm gonna say that you know some pretty interesting people.
Mm.
I'm gonna say Charlie Muscle. Shout out to him. I had him on the show.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say shout out to Coach Matt Johnson. Shout out to Matt, and I'm gonna say shout out to Cool Code. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
yeah,
say
yeah,
shout out. Yeah, yeah. Cause
yeah,
Sacramento got some pretty interesting entrepreneurs, bro.
yeah. And
Pretty interesting. And I see a lot of y'all are up and coming and have been grinding for a long time, and taking a new light to putting Sacramento on the map as
yeah,
one of the most predominant cities in the West Coast that have young entrepreneurs. And
absolutely.
so, what is your stance with that on how y'all are evolving right now?
You know, I would like my generation is definitely the leaders of that. Growing up, we didn't have like there isn't really any like older entrepreneurs that we were able to take advice from, or they never got to the level that we were hoping to get to, and we finally got breakthroughs. And when we got breakthroughs, the people who were talented got to showcase their talent and share their knowledge, and we got to keep working together. A lot of that would start with what I would say. I think the beginning of that really was Mozzy, who definitely was probably the first person to break through to the mainstream. A lot of that was also Ryan Coogler, who isn't from Sacramento, but he did go to Sac State and shows a lot of love to both Oakland and Sacramento. Um, and then the Sacramento Kings arena, going up downtown and cultivating all this entertainment around that arena, all kind of happened at the same time. So timing was everything, and people didn't miss their opportunities when it finally showed its face. And yeah, the city finally got to move forward. It was always a city that we knew was talented, but it wasn't getting the love or the support on the big stage like it should have been. We always knew it should have been, but the world didn't see it yet.
Okay, okay, okay. So, what would you say to somebody from the East Coast or down south, or even from the Midwest, that want to come out to Sacramento and network? And are you guys open to networking with people from other places and in
Absolutely,
embracing that network?
absolutely. But I would still say, even though we have had people, we're moving and we're on the uprise. Sacramento still isn't the networking hub. I would still, advise getting to Los Angeles, advise getting to other places where um, I think it's more established. And I think most of the people from Sacramento who do still figure out their niche still eventually have to make that move and try to bring it back home. So, but we're very open to networking with other people. I'm here. I do as many podcasts and interviews across the country with different people as I can because networking is the most powerful tool you have as an entrepreneur.
Right. And see, but that's what I'm different at. I was talking to one of my partners. He said, I want to go to LA. I said, I want to go to SAC. He said, why? I said, because I feel like with people from the South, we only think about LA and Oakland and Beverly Hills and Orange County and Anaheim and places like that. I said, but I think that, SAC is a untapped market. And I
It's
think, that down south, like the whole southern region, like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, Mississippi,
yeah,
Louisiana. I think that it's so many times that we travel across country to places like LA and stuff. And I like to focus on the untapped markets in these bigger states because
yes,
that really, I think that gives both parties, I will say you from Georgia, he from Sacramento. I think that give both of y'all leverage to do something and to have a whole conglomerate of a new network that people from LA or people from New York will take notice to.
and I agree to it, but only to an extent. It
Okay.
definitely worked for me. Because it literally was a 1,000% a new untapped market, especially to people of color, which is
Mhm.
why I went back to Sacramento. But ultimately, my goal is to still get a movie, to still get
Mhm.
animations by big studios, and there's just no events or those people just aren't here. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
So it's like it goes so far to the level you're trying to take it. Now, if you're doing something, I would definitely say in real estate, there's so much open land, there's so much, but I definitely would still encourage, especially in entertainment, that move is still very necessary to get to those bigger markets. Because, like I said, I could go to business mixers all day in Sacramento. I will never meet an executive producer at Warner. I will never meet
Makes sense.
the, you know what I mean? So it's just, it only goes so far. Um,
Hmm.
I definitely agree with the fact that I moved back to Sacramento. I got my stores in Sacramento for what I'm doing, but I still have my eyes set on going back down to SoCal at some point to take it to the next level. I feel like I feel like I've dominated this market to the ceiling of this market.
Okay. And so with that being said, we'll move right along. And let's talk about how you put that trailer together. Like,
Okay.
what were the necessary steps for you to put that trailer? The trailer hot, the trailer fire. You
Thank
know
you.
what I mean? And I definitely salute you for that, man. I definitely salute you for that. It just shows how creative your mind is, and the illustrations, is very 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 hot too. It's very eye catching. It kind of reels you in, so whoever is watching it, they become a part of your target market audience, and
Yeah.
so I think that's really big.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me ask you though, are you speaking of the trailer for the anime or the movie trailer that we shot, like the live action?
The movie trailer.
Okay, yeah. So with that, what happened with that was a friend of mine who, like I said, people became stuff. Mikey Rare, when I was working in the music industry, deeper artist I was managing, he shot his video, and for the both of us, I was the first artist to hit 1 million views plus on YouTube that we both got to work on. So then we just stayed friends. He shoots music videos for A-list artists now. He shoots music videos for all type of people, and he still also wants to be in the movie industry. Um, which every director eventually wants to do. So it made sense for us to both use Impound as the opportunity to get to that goal for the both of us. He could showcase his directing skills. I was able to showcase our universe in live action, and it was just a collaborated proof of concept that we both did. He didn't charge me to do it. We spent money on maybe like the costumes. We really put that together with about $1,800, and made it look
Hold on,
like it.
back up, Brent. Hold, back up, B. Hold up,
Yeah,
man. You say what?
$1,800. Well, he already owned the equipment. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
already got the characters. All he needed from me was to cast everybody and give him the direction, and he made it. We made it work. The locations, it was favors. Well, Sacramento was excited that we're trying to put together a movie. Uh, and we really shot that whole thing in about a 2-3 block radius. It doesn't look like it, but we were just spinning around, using like different corners of the couple blocks. And then the MMA aspect of it, Uriah Faber, who is he was a champion MMA fighter from Sacramento. He heard Impound was an MMA fighter. He let us use his gym, so it just came together. You know what I mean? Like we all just pulled all of our favors, put some money together, and made it work. It was a month of shooting and then like a month of editing.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, man.
Thank you.
That's pretty impressive. And
And then to promote it, the news gravitated to it again. You know what I mean? It was an instant, of course we will kind of thing. That's really what's been the edge on my comic universe and other people's is I genuinely have my entire city behind it, and that was the plan. That was my plan from the gate was to get my city involved, and then we'll expand from there.
okay. And thank you, Ashley Marie, for tapping in. Salute to you, no doubt. And then now, how does your casting call work, man? As far as when you're trying to find characters that fit the voice that you want, that really that have that personality that you want, as far as your animation, how does that type of casting call work?
So I haven't done a casting call. Most of the people who did the animated were also in the movie trailer. So
Okay.
character who was Christ Jones in that movie is also Christ Jones in my animation, and same with Impound. I didn't put a lot of speaking in this anime as much as people may think because it's difficult over the early animation to get the voices to sync up with the lips. So I kind of wrote it in a more of an action and less speaking for that reason. But the way I found the character who played Christ Jones, that guy, the actor, uh, walked into my store just to learn about us. Right when I looked at him, I said, "Hey, you could play Christ Jones." And then he started talking, and I can't think of the actor's name, but he sounds just like the guy from Green Mile. The guy,
Michael Duncan.
yes, yes. His
Okay.
voice just like that. And right when we started talking, I said, "No, bro, you're playing him. I need you. Like, I need you to play this character." And then
Hmm.
he was just like, "Okay." And that was it. I didn't do a cast call. He just walked in my store. And then the character who played Impound is a guy named Andre Taylor. I went to college with him. And then, Impound was illustrated in my face. Like he was meant to look like me. And people used to always tell me Dre looked like my older brother. And Dre actually does, MMA. He's into fitness. And then I hadn't seen him in a while. And then I was like, man, right when me and Mikey decided to shoot this trailer, I was gonna have my younger cousin play Impound because we look alike, but he's buffer than I am. And then
Hmm.
I was like, I really wish I could figure out how to get in contact with Dre to play him. And then 2 days later, Dre just walked by my store. He didn't even know I was doing this. He never seen my store. He just so happened to walk by, and I ran out and grabbed him. I was like, I was just thinking about you. And then I showed him everything, and then he did it. So I didn't do a formal casting call. It
Hmm.
was really,
Hmm.
it was really friends and family, and that was it.
Okay.
Like so,
Okay.
no one in the trailer was an actual like casted actor beyond someone I already, besides Christ Jones, before someone I already knew. Cool
Right.
Code is
Right. Right.
the trailer. Cool Code's the masked character getting beat up the whole trailer. I made sure he was getting his ass whooped all trailer.
Man, hey, listen, man.
That's my
That
homie though.
that
But
cat, that cat, Cool Cole, he be everywhere. Basketball games, festivals.
he's
Now
an
he
ex.
in movie, like he be everywhere, bro. Like it's never a dull moment with him, man. Like when I see him online, I be like, do he ever sleep?
Yeah, he be sliding around. But he's two different characters getting beat up in my trailer.
Oh wow, oh
But
wow, that's crazy.
like I
That's
said,
crazy.
it was all homies. It was all just people I knew. So I got a detective, Carol Mosley, the actress who played her, is my female best friend in real life, and I'm telling you, we used $800. We got it done.
That's all right, man. That's all right, man. And it looked phenomenal. So, ask you another question. Like from what you're doing now, do you prefer a movie or do you prefer a whole TV series?
So right now, I would prefer a television series, but if I did it, I wouldn't want it to be about Impound. I want to do a TV series strictly about Christ Jones and his upcoming as like a
Okay,
guest.
okay.
So that's what I really want to do. I understand, Impound is more the flagship, a more popular character. I'm willing to do whatever, though. You know what I mean? The goal for me, I want a live action series, I want movies and animated series. So
Okay,
I
okay.
want them all at the end of the road. Whichever
Hmm.
one comes first, I'm down. I'm open to it. As long as they're not misrepresenting my characters or trying to take the power out of my hands. I want all of them.
Oh man, you listen, man. I'm gonna tell you this, just from what I've seen alone, and I'm really looking forward to seeing a whole lot more. But this is a new wave. Like this can be some real box office type shit for real, for real.
Yeah,
Some real box office, man. And because it's new, it's
yeah,
fresh, it's uncut, it's raw, it's direct, and
yeah.
so that's a whole different ball game.
Oh,
And a lot of the people in Hollywood at Warner, Sony Pictures, Lionsgate Films, um, a lot of them are looking for that new blood,
yeah,
that new blood of actors, actresses, that new blood of directors, that new blood of illustrators. They just looking for the new blood because all the Denzels and the Wills and all these guys are getting old.
yeah,
All
absolutely.
these guys are over 50 now, and they've been doing it since they was like 19, 20. So
Mhm.
they already been in the business 30 years, and
And
so they're looking for that new blood.
what helps in our benefit, like creators like myself, is the fact that now Marvel is completely owned by Disney for the most part. That WB pretty much is taking on, or HBO, excuse me, has pretty much been taking on the DC series and Warner. So every other state network, if you want the highest grossing product, which is superheroes, you have to find the next thing because Marvel and DC is sold up pretty much. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So if you're Paramount, if you're anything else, you have to find the new people now because it used to just be they were licensing just characters to different studios, but that pretty much has that's pretty much over now.
Right,
So everyone else, Hulu, whatever, you have to get someone else. You're not getting Marvel at this point. You're not getting any of their characters. So that works in creators like myself's benefit.
right. And then just to think about Amazon pictures and
Hmm.
Amazon movies.
And they have
Um,
been
but
seeing it. That's why they're doing Invincible and The Boys.
right,
They started doing it because you're not getting Superman and Spider Man now.
right. And and they're actually paying lots of money per episode. Not
Exactly.
even just for yeah, they paying per episode. So that's uh that's a new wave of the digital streaming. Like they're paying per episode. So you definitely have something that's new, rich, and it's gonna be eye catching even for like the teeny boppers, the middle school kids and the high school kids. They gonna gravitate to it. They gonna be like, man, who did that, man? Like, how can I follow his social media, man? they're gonna be want to scream that, man. So and just however you get it out there, man, you gonna have a huge fan base when it comes to the teenagers and the adults, because believe it or not, it's adults 40 and 50 years old that
Yeah.
love what you're doing. You
Oh
know
yeah,
what I
no.
mean?
I tell people all the time, like, of course, we're grabbing the kids, but I was like, the average age for comic readers really is 24 to 50. It's really adults that are
Right.
reading more than the kids. You know what I mean? So, I'm it's a very well-rounded business. All age ranges and all ethnicities, and I think we're also breaking that barrier of making it more for our people, by our people, and breaking the stigma. I think definitely African Americans have this. Not anymore as much, but it wasn't cool. You know what I mean? To like comic books as much. People was more. It was hip hop and football and basketball, which it still is. But now these worlds are coming together closer than it was versus growing up. I was playing football and basketball, but I was also watching Star Wars, and I had two different friends for that. You know what I mean? To have these kind of conversations where now those it's colliding. you know, Urban culture is comic culture now more than it ever was, and I think that that's dope.
Right. And it is, cause I tell people all the time, I had friends who, like, I'm telling, they probably got storages of comic books,
Yeah,
and just like my cousin John out in Dover, Delaware, man, like, while we be going to the court to hoop, like, he was home, you like sketching some crazy superhero man, Electro Man or some craziness like that, bro. Like, he's a sketch artist, man, and he got crazy superheroes, man, in his sketchbooks, and that's what he was always into. He was a drawer, man. Like, he can
yeah,
he can see you coming out of store and just draw you opening the double doors, and it just looks so real. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah, and so he wasn't he liked sports, but he wasn't a hooper like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? A football player like that, like, he would he would sit there and draw somebody catching a pass or something like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why they loved him so, man. But yeah, man, you definitely got something. So, man, tell me about how you orchestrated and curated this store, man. That's crazy dope.
So the store, it was actually it's I manifested it. Like I said, I had my marketing scheme together from the gate, and one of my partners, well, my only other partner, Antoine in Impound Comics, I told him we were going to get the store in this location that we are, and I told him we'd probably get it in like 2 years. Ended up happening in 6 months, and it was because they reached out to us about doing it. So getting this store was really the shopping center's idea, and it was because of the Sacramento's first superhero branding. We are right in front of the Sacramento Kings arena, and it just made sense, you know. But really, I didn't think I was ready. I wasn't down to do it yet, and they were willing to work with however I could get it done. They didn't give me no crazy rent, they more like partnered with me on it and let me curate it the way I wanted to. So it was really a blessing, especially from the Toco Shopping Center, to let me even do this, because I wouldn't have did it yet if they didn't give me an insanely good deal and opportunity. And then the building of this started doing so well. Now we have two stores. The second store, though, is just we just did it as a traditional way. We pay rent. It's more of a general toys and comic store, but now we have two locations, and the one I'm in now is the first one, and it's more like the Impound Comic Store, kind of slash like turning into the museum, though. Where we have one of one stuff. We have things that we don't sell anywhere, and we never will. And yeah, it was opportunity of a lifetime, to be honest with you. You know,
Okay.
when when other creators ask me how to do it, it's like, look, this is how it happened. I can't guarantee it's probably going to happen the same way for you because I didn't just show up and buy space and do it. I was given an opportunity of lifetime. You know what I mean? And I just stepped up to the plate when it was time.
But so as you open up your first store and you're in a great location, you are right there in front of the Sacramento Kings and like so people. How long did it take for people to catch on like wildfire? Like because it's doing really well right now, right?
Well, yeah, it does really well, but so it's still a level of educating what people we still do every day. So once we launched, the news did all its run on us. We promoted it. We had a super massive grand opening. It was big from the gate, but there was still tens of thousands of people in Sacramento who never heard of us. So it was a daily thing of standing outside with flyers, telling people what we are. But the beauty of it is, as soon as we tell people what we are, they were sold instantly. Nobody's ever seen anything like us. Most people never got to see a comic company come up from zero, and they were just willing to learn. So that was the blessing of it. But even till this day, people walk in even knowing exactly what we are, or they were just so interested they had to figure out what we were, and we explained it to them. So like,
And what you saying, people are willing to learn, and it kind of elevates their mind to understand who y'all are and what y'all are.
yeah,
Um, how are those conversations, man?
it's when we tell people what we are, people respond like they just went to the moon, or like they respond in a way of like it's always more than what they thought it was. I'll say that.
Uh,
People will walk in like they walk in looking like this, like looking skeptical, and it's more of a I see it's a comic book store, but I can't identify what kind of store because they don't these characters are unfamiliar to them. So then when we say we're Sacramento's first comic book company, or we're Sacramento's first Black comic book series or universe, it's like what? They're still like, what does this mean? You know what I mean? It's still
right,
like,
right, 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 right,
and
right,
then
right.
it's like I wrote and created all of this. We have a video game. We have kids books. We release a new book every month. This is Sac's first superhero, and we are an independent company striving to
Say
become.
what? Hold up, bro. Hold up, B. Hold up, man. Hold up, back up, man.
Hold
As
on.
as as Martin Lawrence say, stop the press, man. Hold on, bro. Hold on, man. So you just said that you have books, you have toys, and you have a video game.
Yeah. We got it. We had the video game before the store, so we have like a station where you can just play the game in the store. It's a mobile game, right? I was gonna say is how you reacted. The mobile when we say a mobile game, that's when everybody's like, "Oh my god, y'all going crazy!" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that's the icing on the cake. That if they weren't sold, they're sold now. Because that to me is why we get to say we're a comic book company versus I'm just a comic book author. You know what I mean? Like we're more well-rounded than most indies. You know what I mean? Where we have the figures, we have the books, we have the game, we have, you know what I mean?
so
We have trading cards, but yeah,
so how
it's
can you buy this game, man? Like, is it
it's
gonna be available? Is it gonna be available on like Xbox or PlayStation soon? Or
it's a mobile game on Apple and Android. So it's kind of like it's a 2D game, but it's like the
okay,
old school. It's like the old school Ninja Turtles game. You
uh
know what
huh,
I mean? Where you're walking down the street, kind of fighting. It's a
right,
wave,
right, 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 right,
but it's you're
right.
Impound, and you go through a ton of Christ Jones's minions, and then you eventually fight my main villains every 10 levels. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we had this the mobile game. We've had this for about a year and a half. So we had this before the store.
What the hell, bro? Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
be listen, Britt, man. Like, the reason I asked is it going to be available on Xbox or PlayStation, bro? Because it seems like something that was sell off the shelf, bro. Like,
Oh well,
like
so just to
it's
give you
crazy.
just to give you where we're going, we are not on Xbox yet still, but right now we've been working on a 3D game. So we're gonna be releasing a game that's more like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, where it's
Hmm.
full dimensional, and then this is like what it's starting to look like.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So we're in the process of that. So this will probably
Wow.
eventually be the game for it, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I just know whenever you guys can make that move, PlayStation, Xbox, or even both, man. Like, yeah, bro.
Well,
It's gonna be something serious, because just I can visualize. I interviewed this guy, and now my little baby cousin is playing against somebody in Arkansas online, and
exactly.
and,
That's the
and
goal,
I
man.
interviewed this guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, man. So that's the reason why I asked that, man.
Yeah,
And that
right now, I think everything is leading up to this game. At least for me, right now, because that's going to be the first. Besides the books, that's going to be the first thing that we're going to release. That's the next level. You know what I mean? Like we have a game right now, 2D game. That's super dope. But at the end of the day, if we want to get to the broader and everybody, we'll need a full three-dimensional game online.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm.
That's just what the world is today. So everything that we're doing now, I think, is leading to that moment when that game is finally ready. And then that's when I think we're just gonna, if we didn't before, that's where we're gonna go all the way, up. You know, that's where I think the studios and stuff are coming for us if they haven't in the meantime.
Right, right. So it's crazy how we talking about the video games, and my little cousin Jarvis, man. Like, I talked to his grandmother, which is my auntie, and I said, "What Jay at?" She was like, he gone." I was like, "Where he gone?" So he's been traveling the country playing NBA 2K since March,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and just making crazy amounts of money, bro.
Well, there's
Just
now the NBA now they all have a 2K team attached to the team. So the Sacramento
right,
Kings has the Kings guard, which is the official Sacramento Kings 2K team. And they're going to be traveling when the Kings play the Lakers. This 2K team goes and plays the Lakers 2K team. It's mind blowing.
man.
They get drafted. They get drafted like an
It's
NBA
crazy,
team.
man, because when she told me when I called in March, she said he in Texas. Called her the next month he in Indiana. The next month he just left Iowa. This month he's probably gonna be somewhere in Cali. Then he'll probably be in Atlanta. Like I was like, this dude on tour like he a recording artist.
Yeah. And then it's like, and a lot of those people who are doing that, their parents told them, get off that game. You ain't gonna never.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Cause she used to tell him that all the time.
And
I
now you're
always hear
like,
that game. I always
coach.
hear that game. It's crazy, man. Technology in the digital era is wild, bro. Like it's crazy, man.
So it took people to worlds and heights that no one ever knew was even possible.
Yeah, man. Cause I was listening to I think it's T Grizzly.
Yeah, yeah. He
And
does
he was like,
a lot of 2K.
yeah, he said he makes about 200K a month off Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah, I believe it.
and and he said he have his own server. So to get on his server, he charged cats $5,000, and they pay it, man. And
Yeah,
these cats making like 20, $30,000 a month themselves just
yeah,
playing a video game. He said, man, he talked to one cat out in what did he say, Hayward, California. He said the cat said he ain't made this much money since he was working a 9 to 5.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. So but yeah, man, I would love to see people that I know, man, playing your game online and playing this person in this state and in that state, man. And I just really think, man, like you're not only in the movie animation type market, but you in the book market, and you in the video game market, man.
Yeah,
Listen,
there's no stone we
listen,
can't turn. You know what I mean? Like
man.
we can go in any world, any realm, we can do it. So why not? You know what I mean? You
Right,
got to maximize everything you do. You know,
right.
and And I think it's just more of the part, bro. Like it's like I'm not afraid to take a loss. That's the bigger thing of this is I'm fearless when it comes to doing everything that this brand can do. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I can't not know what would have been. You know what I mean? So if I find out it's possible, we gonna do it. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with the game. Once I said I
Hey
can get it,
man,
we gonna do it. I don't care.
right.
You know what I
But you know
mean?
who gonna love you. But you know who gonna love your games though, man. When you bring that thing out in his own like Xbox or PlayStation, best
Yeah,
believe, man, you're gonna have people like Carmelo Anthony's son, LeBron James boys. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like Dennis Rodman's son. Like, cause it's dope, man. And don't no kid who do any type of sports or workout in all of them love fighting games, bro. All of them
yeah.
love fighting games. You know what I'm saying? And so this is dope. And speaking of your guy that you got to play the part, like I know that he probably be in the back of his mind, like, how the fuck did he do all this?
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
right. You know?
yeah, man. Like he like, how did he do it, man?
No, he always
Man,
says
look,
that. Like keep you like, bro, this he's like, you going crazy. He said, I'm just gonna keep playing this character, man, and just let me go take this ride with you. I said, oh no, we locked in. You ain't gotta worry about
yeah, man. Cause man, from what I'm getting, man, it's like talking about a marketing strategy, talking about some strategic planning. This
it.
is way over, man. This is some shit that you see on Shark Tank with
Yeah.
damn Mark Cuban
I've
in,
been applying to Shark Tank for 10 years.
huh?
I've been applying to Shark Tank 10 years. I'm just waiting on them to hit me back, man.
Yeah, man. Like this is some joint where you see Mark Cuban and Damon arguing about it.
Yeah.
But about who's gonna give you the highest equity in the company and stuff like that, man. It's like
Yeah.
this is crazy, man. And so with the other store, man, tell me how the other store came about.
So the other store came when I opened this one. So where we are now is like the upper echelon of Sacramento. So as soon as we put up a store here, other shopping centers just kind of wanted us too. So it's in Arden Mall. In Arden Mall, they reached out to me. They came to my grand opening here. So they asked me to do a store there. Then I wasn't ready. We did almost a year here, got our money situation better. And then it was just time, I finally was just like, what space do you guys have available? When did a tour, and then and it just made sense. For me, the stores, we use this money to it's a passive income. That's one thing as an entrepreneur that I always preach is you need passive income. You need ways to make money every single day just to sustain you. Now, I don't look at these stores. I'm not going to ever be a millionaire with stores, but what we're doing is sustaining, and we are finding a way to push the brand to new people every single day, nonstop. We're seeing hundreds of new people, explaining them to them what we are. And like I said, when we get to this game, when we get to these bigger projects, the audience is aware of us. You know what I mean? So that's all that is just a passive promotional box. That's what my stores are to me. You know what I mean? So that's it's. I want to do probably one more in an area that's called Roseville. Roseville would be like the Sacramento equivalent of like Beverly Hills. There's a big
Okay.
mall over there, and and just maintaining. You know what I mean? So this store, I have such a good deal with the plaza. I have no reason to not to be afraid because this helps me pay for the other store if I was having bad days or bad months. So it just makes sense. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
and our online sales have been increasing, so we technically kind of got three stores.
So
So
that's what I want to ask you about. With the online stores, because I'm one of them go big boys. What you gonna do? I'm a hefty cinch sack.
yeah,
So so with that being said, man, you got hats, shirts, wristbands, headbands, all the above.
not like headbands, but yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We got shirts, hats, beanies, um, hoodies. We got shorts, sweatpants, And
Okay.
yeah, we just adding on. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of merch, and the merch isn't where I want it to be either. You know, my goal for next year, at least by next year, I want our merch to not be like comic book merch. I want the Impound brand to look like a clothing line. Like we just got jackets, like Letterman jackets, and it just says Impound in black. And people who don't even read our books wear our clothes. You know what I mean? So I want to go super fashionable at one point on the merch too. You know,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
I think we're capable. I think like brands like Marvel and DC, they're not capable of doing that. I think they're not urban enough. I think it's already portrayed as just comic
And
characters and it's just going to be comic merch. Where I think we have the power that we can start making rappers wear impound jackets and music videos and you know what I mean? Make it like dope, you know.
well, just to let you know, man, that I'm a national JUCO college recruiter for the Union County Vipers out of Monroe, North Carolina. So when you're talking about the merch, man, the Impound Athletics is gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
I know it for a fact. It'll go crazy, bro.
and
You
that's
know
what
what I
I
mean?
do because we part of my branding that I haven't got to hit as much as I want to is I wanted it to feel like Impound is an actual athlete in Sacramento, and I'm trying to put him next to real athletes from Sacramento, where
Hmm.
we have Impound mouthpieces, you know, boxing gloves, shorts, like you said, just athletic attire, almost like Under
Yeah.
Armour. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly, man. And so I think that'll work. And then to really have somebody from like a Sacramento State or from the Sacramento Kings or or you might even have somebody from the Anaheim Angels or the Los Angeles
Yeah,
Dodgers or from the LA Kings, man. Because you really never know what may happen because it's a new brand that's dealing with athletics, and then also the impound energy drinks or the
yeah,
impound energy bar. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's so many ways that impound rings so many bells on
yeah.
how it can be marketed and everything, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's just it can do it all. Like that's the beauty of it. I don't know if that's just how I portray them or the impound name just kind of like demands like a different type of like sounds like strong or something. You know what I mean? Like it
Right,
sounds athletic. It sounds fashion. It sounds different. It sounds cool. You know, but I want all of that, man. I see it all. I need is get to that point. I need the more hands to help me get to these other goals because I'm still
right,
writing books too. You know what I mean? So
right, 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 right,
I'm
right, right,
in at this time, you know.
right,
And
right, right, right.
I have a business partner who helps me on the back end with a lot of this other stuff, but I need a few more people that can take on those type of assignments that I can trust to take on those type of assignments. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Those people are coming too. You know, it's just a matter of when. Everything is just a
That's right.
matter of
Yeah.
time.
No doubt, man, no doubt. And so, man, for people who want to know more about you and want to just keep up with what you're doing, man, and how can they get up with you or how can they follow you?
So our biggest platform is TikTok, and I'm very heavy on TikTok. I try to post 2 to 3 things a day. Next is Instagram, and then our website. It's impoundcomics.com, and we're on every social platform as just Impound Comics. All the lights in the stores automatically went off. We closed an hour ago, so the lights cut off
Right,
automatically.
right, 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 right. Okay. So
You
that's
know,
www got impoundcomics.com.
yes, sir. And then just Impound
Okay,
Comics, everything else.
okay,
YouTube,
okay.
pushing YouTube hard right now for this animation. So that's where I'm at.
Okay then. Okay, man. So with that being said, man, I definitely enjoyed the dialogue. It's been very interesting with you. Um, man, as them older people said, boy, you hell when you well.
Yeah,
For real, man. Like, boy, like you got a lot going on and then some.
thank you.
And what's so interesting about you when you actually put out the TV series, you've been in the music industry before, so it won't be a problem with you talking to music supervisors or people who do movie scores and stuff like that.
my when I was in the music industry heavier, one of my closest friends is Mozzy's manager. You know what I mean? So that's what brought me into the music industry. And he's one of my best friends. And he does for APG, he does the soundtrack for all the movie deals they get. That's what his job is at there. So he did the last Fast and the Furious. He did parts for the Venom movie. He helped Kendrick with the Black Panther one. So that's like the easy side. I just got to get to the getting adapted by the film studios.
Right. I can dig it. I can dig it, man. I can dig it, man. And
Yeah.
it'll happen, man. It'll happen in due time, man. No worries, man. But I just want to thank you for coming on here, man, giving me this great dialogue, letting me and the audience learn more about who you are, more about what you do, what you have accomplished, and more about what you're going to accomplish thus far. You know what I mean? And so we're looking forward to seeing all those great things from you for the future. And I'm gonna just tell you, man, keep pushing, keep going, Godspeed, man. Like you definitely are going to make legendary status, leave a legacy, and because you're doing something outside the norm, and I love it. I definitely enjoyed the dialect this evening.
No problem, brother. I appreciate you having me on here, man.
Yes, sir. So if there's anything you need, but I'll be getting back up with you because I like to see what you're up to the next 6 months and bring you on for another interview.
It's all good. Just let me know when you're ready. I'm down for it.
Yes, sir. Take care, be blessed, and stay safe.
Appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. All right, peace.